I have an idea. Let's talk about Blanchitsu. Oh wow, John Blanche. Modern marvel, legend of our times. I have always loved the work of John Blanche. It's been an inspiration from the very beginning. What I appreciate about his style and a lot of other artists I admire, like Masamune Shirow or Simon Beasley, for example, the distortion of the human form into monstrous proportions. It looks identifiable, but not right. And there's a movement within the miniature hobby called Blanchitsu, where you just kind of try to imitate the dystopian, world upside down, dark gothic style that John Blanche has been cultivating in the Warhammer artwork over the years. I think some keys to this, definitely conversion, modification, making something one of a kind, and it really has a lot of soul to it. There's it's not so much about the painting as it is about getting that grit and that realism. We'll see how I end up painting this, but as far as the building process, which I've captured here, I'm going to start at the beginning and lay all that out. I had a lot of fun building this up and just pulling out all kinds of pieces from my bits box. I did not end up using them all, but I rated it. I even went upstairs into the second bits box, the deep bits, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So let's walk through the process and see what you think. Okay, let's start from the bottom. I have an Imperial Armiger Knight, the baby knight as it's known, and I'm going to get all kinds of Blanchitsu on this. But basically, I want to create kind of an open, sprawling field of disaster, sort of a bombed out World War II battlefield. Best I can in the 40K sense. So, some materials that I have, got a little bit of medium stone there, some ceramic bricks, a little bit of good old dirt dug from the yard. I found some various plastic bits from Games Workshop. I'm just seeing, I'm giving myself some options here. I've got some rivets from the Tichy train group. A lot of these things, I get them online on eBay and such. Got some various brass etchings from Secret Weapon. That all-important razor wire. We'll see. We'll see what comes in handy. Some coffee stick stirrers. A discarded piece of jewelry. I'm after the tiny bits of chain. You'll see. Kind of want to make a, I don't know, the remnants of some kind of destroyed mechanical something or other. Some people call this a vehicle, but we're just going to leave some gears, brass rod, etc., some chains. Leave that out on the battlefield and let the imagination create what it wants. Of course, the all-important discarded barrel. Got some I-beam, plastic card, a little bit of plastic tube. Can never have enough of this tubing. We'll see. So I also have some spare pieces of plastic card. And to start off, what I want to do is I want to elevate this a little bit. I don't want him looming over the battlefield. There, so he's raised up just a little bit. Now the next thing I want to do is I want it to look like some of this wreckage is submerged in the mud. I don't want it just sitting on top of the base. I want it to be, kind of breaking the plane there. So I will drill into the base with my hobby knife. Yeah, so very rough hole, but now this barrel can find an angle to be kind of resting in the mud. I think I want to submerge this piece slightly as well, so I'll go ahead and carve another hole. There we go. Just glue it in place. And once the base was dried, so we have these gaps on the bottom. I just got out a little bit of tin foil, and all I'm going to do, tear a piece and just stick it to the bottom of the base, like so. And just like so, now it's all filled in. We can test our legs there again. The next thing I wanted to do was build up that kind of broken pulley system. We'll drill into that. Decent. All right, let's rip out some of this chain. And we'll dangle it just like so. All right. Also want to add one of these steel wagon wheels. Excellent. Let's kick it into high gear, friends. We have a lot to get through. I wanted to leave the first description at a normal pace, but now that you've kind of seen where things are going, I'm just adding micro details, gluing everything in place. You know, just making sure that this base looks interesting, adding enough elements. I didn't use everything that I pulled out for my little basing project here, but that's fine. It's good to have the buffet laid out. Grab one of these weird grids from Secret Weapon Miniatures, twist it up. It's always good to have a little twisted metal on the battlefield. I'm also shaking the camera a bit as I mangle this metal. Yeah, a little pinch, a little twist, a little fidgeting. It's going to want to flip-flop around on you. But yeah, that liquid super glue is going to pin everything down nicely. Now we'll get some larger pieces of rubble here as well. Test fitting. You can see that I painted some areas with that tannish color. I used Guncore Brown. That's just to remind myself to leave those areas of the base flat and open, because I want them to be mud puddles. I want this battlefield to look a little soggy. So I'll avoid those parts, glue down a little bit of dirt, and ready to rock. Solid foundation to be prowling upon. Do a little test fit of the torso there. And yeah, so now I've got all those little plates I was fidgeting around with. I want to add some detail. You know, Blanchitsu is all about that soul, that kind of custom modification, and I wanted it to be metal, you know, like heavy metal. So I found a few small nails. I also found a drill, lucky me. And yeah, just throwing some nails in there, some scary spikes basically. And on the shoulder pad, I want to leave things open for freehanding. So I'm just going to take the X-Acto, clean off the details, file it down with a swizzle stick, actual name, very handy flexible files. I've got a little crevice left over there, and for that I'll use a little bit of Tester's contour putty. You just smush it down, smooth it away with your thumb, whatever finger you have available. File that, of course. You can give it a few passes. I also pulled some spikes off of some spare Chaos Vehicle bits. I just wanted everything to look thorny. You know, I have a chance with every one of these plates to kind of add some details. But yeah, that'll do quite nicely for the legs. So a penis drill. I'll just say it. I don't know. It just looks very dystopian, very wrong. I feel like it kind of fits with that gothic, you know, abstract element and feeling that a lot of the Blanchitsu carries. So why not? Sometimes you just have to chase down every idea. Maybe you'll like it. And on this side, because I want him to be a knight, I'm going to name this Sir Galahad. I just have a thick piece of plastic card. You can see me scoring it with an X-Acto and snapping off the rough shape there that I sketched on with a pencil. And just continue to rip away at it with the side of an X-Acto. Get ready to be sanded. And then X-Acto it down again in case you have any strange ridges or edges. Go ahead and snap off that barrel as well. We won't be needing that, but what we do need, flamethrower nozzle for that close assault. So I'm going to put a little X there, try to test fit it. A second X, because things were a little bit off-center for my preferences. The drill made the hole, and the X-Acto helps to refine that hole, just making sure everything fits nicely. Of course, add some spikes. Spikes add character. Just ask my wrist. Decent. Get that in place. Yeah, I've got some little bullet holes and everything. Flame on, friend. I have to make sure that fits, and it does not because those nails added a little extra volume to the underside, so I have to nip away at that with my trusty little nippers. Take a little bit, test fit, take a little more. You know, this is, you don't want to remove too much. I want this area to be as full as it can be, so just be real careful. You have time. It's worth doing it right. Yeah, it still wants to pop off. I'm throwing that neck piece in there just to make sure everything shores up, nice and snug like. Just tucking a little spiked blanket into a spiked hood. Decent. Let's add a little bit of power to that penis drill. Got some very flexible aluminum wire. I'm just gonna fidget it into place. Just kind of really easy to work with because it bends so easily. So I can literally just push it with the tip of my X-Acto blade, you know, tuck it underneath that waist structure. I also decided that the flamethrower needed a little bit of, who knows what's in that tube. Maybe it's electricity, maybe it's an igniting element, but I just want to add the micro details to the figure, make things look more interesting. We'll drop that in place. Not too shabby. He has a right arm. I like it. I might be a little biased. I was having fun on this one. I want to create, you know, make that neck area a little more interesting. Create a shroud. I've got this grid again from Secret Weapon Miniatures. And look at that brass etch, you know, it's very easy. Just cuts with the scissors. Just going to kind of test fit that in there. Make sure it's not overhanging the head too much. And hey, if I have some scraps left over, well, that'll be basing material for my next project. So we'll throw that in place. Take the paper towel and absorb some of the extra glue that might be flowing out of the crevices. Yes, some tiny little rivets from the Tichy Train Group. I get these on eBay. I'm always kind of taking a guess at the proper millimeter and all that, and there's rivets and studs. It's another really handy thing to have around for a variety of reasons. But yeah, in this case, you know, having that studded shoulder pad is a nice look, and I'll just gently file down the tops of all these. I've clipped them off of a sprue, so there might be some remains, but they're a pretty clean cast. Sometimes I give myself a thumbs up as a cue for editing, and then I forget to take the thumb out, but I also enjoy seeing my own thumbs up. So what I'm doing here is creating a little banner, again adding to that knightly look that I'm after for Brave Sir Galahad here. And that is just a thin sheet of brass. You can get that at the craft store. It's not hard to hunt down. Just trimming it maximum width for that barrel, you know. I also have these little, it's a jewelry accessory, just these little brass links. We'll drill into that with the X-Acto, because I want the banner to be suspended on something. So I'm making these holes so the links can kind of press into, and it looks like it's bonded with the structure instead of just loosely hanging around on it. We'll have to, you know, kind of nip out that bit of negative space. I'll use the clippers to pull it open gently. It's going to take a lot of fidgeting, but eventually I got everything to fit in place there. Now back to the banner. Cut that in a little V pendant shape. Slice and dice. Now we need to make the little supporting tabs. Slice into that. Just eye it up best you can, you know, make sure, hope that it's even. It's Blanchitsu though. You know, if things are a little rough, that kind of adds to the charm. I'll fold those tabs down, remove the piece that I don't need. Yeah. Ready to be attached. Again, this is edited. It took a little fidgeting to get everything to wrap around and hold in place decently, but once it was secure, I wanted to make this tabard look like it was roughed up, like it's flowing in the wind. So, not bad at all. And look at that. Brave Sir Galahad, the finished product. I'm so excited to paint this, and we have a lot of things to get into and demonstrate based on this project. Oh, beautiful. So I hope that was inspiring for you, and we can look forward to a lot of videos in the future featuring this this dandy knight, the Brave Sir Galahad. It's a knight, right? So I'm like, what are the most popular knights? King Arthur. So maybe one day I will make his entire royal court, but for now, I don't know why the word Galahad was on my mind this whole time, but I'm just going to lean into it. You don't have to understand the ideas when you have them, just follow the muse. Hey. Fuck. Thank you for subscribing to this channel and liking these videos. If you want even more content, please follow the link to my Patreon down below. I also have a Big Cartel page where you can purchase miniatures and merchandise. Remember, patience and practice. Less crying and more trying. I'll see you next time.